Alrighty, I hope everybody's doing very well. Today's a little departure. If you've seen any of my recent short videos, or short videos, you'll know I'm dealing with some stuff with my kids' school and extracurricular programs that I think need to be discussed a little more. Now, let's begin by discussing this issue with my kids' Catholic school showing 8 and 9-year-olds Mr. Beast videos in their downtime. Okay, so first of all, these smart boards that were sold to parents with raised tuition were done so with the promise that they would make teaching better, right? And now here we are, my kids every single day get to watch brain rot content that I wouldn't even show them at home. Now, think back to when you were in school and when you had like an indoor recess day or something. What did you watch? I know I didn't get to watch like Ren and Stimpy or SpongeBob. Now, SpongeBob wasn't out when I was that young, but still, I didn't get to watch Ren and Stimpy. I didn't get to watch anything from Nickelodeon. What we watched, and we didn't like it, but it was like Raffi, which was, the guy that sang. He did a bunch of kids songs. And then we'd watch some like Muppet stuff. Reading Rainbow was another great one. But here they are showing my kids just super manipulative, win $1 million just by blah, blah, blahing bullshit in a school that costs $7,000 a year with an extra $36 a day being spent on after-school programs. That's fucking insane. And then I reached out to the school and you know what they said? It's approved content. Okay. What was your approval process? And why did you approve that instead of the plethora, the magnitudes of other content that has built up over decades, over a century of showing children screen-related content? Mr. Beast is all you can find, all you can approve for my kids? I don't think so. First of all, it shouldn't even be shown to kids younger than 14 because it skews their thought processes. I send my kids there. I pay to send my kids there so that they can have an enriching and better experience than public school. This is a slap in the face, and I guarantee you, I am not the minority here. Now, let's discuss why it's an issue to watch such content. You know, we don't have a whole lot of data, but that which we do have is solidly in my corner. So, if you've... I don't even think I made a video about this one yet. So, the other day I took my daughter to... Girl Scout camp, and I'm a single dad, so my son came along and he was volunteering, he was helping with me, and we had a little downtime, at which point we started playing rock, paper, scissors. And the structure of it is they got the girls in the camp, and then these older high school, middle school girls called caddies that would caddy the girls from one activity to another. They'd lead them from place to place. Now, most of them were great, but as I was playing rock, paper, scissors, this girl came up and she started playing, just inserted herself into the game. And you know, instead of rock, paper, or scissors, you know what she chose? Gun and pipe bomb. And you know what she said to me as to why she chose those? Because those are the only real ways to take people out. Okay? Now, my son, when I talked to him about what he had heard after this, he's got a level head, and he brought up with me that he noticed that on her notebook she had written word female and crossed it off, the word male and crossed it off, and then put a check mark by the word entity. Okay, so let's break this down real quick. What we've got is a process of self-induced depersonalization. So she no longer sees herself as even the same spiritual or physical being as the rest of us. That's a big deal. And then on top of that, she's fantasizing about the most effective way to commit a mass casualty event. That's what these kind of things, they skew the minds of our children, because you know what it does? It is so hyper stimulating that regular life seems mundane and boring and dull and lifeless by comparison. And then what that does is it makes the world seem like a video game, right? If all you're watching is AI content that can't possibly be real, you start to see real people in the same way you see AI content. I don't know. Why am I, an uneducated single dad, able to see this when a high dollar private school seems completely incapable of seeing this? And this is in one of the richest areas of Minneapolis. This is absurd. And I'm not saying that Mr. Beast viewing directly leads to people like that girl who thinks she's an entity. But feeding our kids such junk food material, it skews their thought processes. And one way that it can get skewed is in ways like that girl. It was tragic. It was clearly a cry for help, you know. And I reached out to the staff members there. You know, one cared. One person mentioned the fact that the girl's parents are there and they think that it's cute that she considers herself an entity. One person cared. And then when I reached out to my kid's school about this girl who clearly has violence on her mind and is in a program related to my kid's school, you know what they fucking acted like? They acted like I was the bad guy for even saying the word gun and bomb, quoting her, when I'm just trying to say, hey, you might watch and screen people who come in, even past students, because what the fuck is going on here? You know, I spent my entire 20s and the better part of my 30s being an insane junkie, and I came out of it to find that the rest of the world is more insane than I am. And now I just found out one of my viewers, subscribers, mentioned that Mr. Beast's wife wrote a book called The Marked Children. Mark of the fucking beast, man. They don't even fucking try to hide it. I'm not even Christian. But you know what? They are at the school. They are. They study the Bible. They should know. And if they claim to have Christian values, what the fuck are they doing showing my kids stuff like this? You know, he's funded by the Rockefellers. This is just this. I know I've said this like 30,000 times in this 9-minute video, but this is insane. And I'm at the wrong store. This is, I don't know what I'm going to do about this. What I really need, you see, I had a whole script written about this, but the thing is, it doesn't deserve, I don't know. I don't really need a script to discuss this. I just think that, you know, so I've noticed another thing about the school lately is that there is a huge turnover of administrative staff. So their headmaster has switched and the leader of the whatchamacallit, of their after school program has also switched this year. So the new head of the after school program is the one that totally justified showing Mr. Beast on. It's such a slap in the face. Why do they need smartboards? Chalkboards work just fine. The only reason you need, or what, whiteboards work just fine. Chalkboards worked fine. Whiteboards work just fine. Now those cost like $100 installed each room. Whereas each smartboard that they're just showing my kids Mr. Beast on, it seems, each smartboard costs upwards of $1,600. And then it has to be installed. They last maybe a few years, right? And then you got to replace them or fix them. And look into the effects of high technology schooling. It has completely decimated children's ability to focus, to learn, to do anything, to critically think. Kids will stop at a backpack that's in their way because they don't understand the concept of moving it out of their way. They are retarding our children. They are doing it actively, and then they're calling us bad parents for speaking out against it. This is fucking evil. Sorry, guys. I'm not yelling at you. This is really bad. You know, I gave up my entire life to be a good dad, and here I am, a good dad, and that's a really nice car. Watch this. If I think, yeah. This good dad seems to have to fight the entire world to get the world to treat my kids well. So, have a great day.